Hey guys, I'm ddlc and welcome to my channel. And as you read on the title, today we are going to study the art style of She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. The 2018 show, not the 80s one. If you haven't watched the show, don't worry, there won't be spoilers, you'll just see some characters of the show. But I do recommend you watch it because it's really good. But let's just get started. First thing we have to do is break down the art style. I did this already with the Owl House, if you're interested you can check it out. And the process will be similar here with She-Ra. I started to look at the head shapes and for the most part they are very simple, even in the 3/4 view. As you can see, just having a little curve or dent in the eyes direction, but sometimes not even that. I also noticed that they have small ears, so I try to keep that in mind because I usually make ears kinda big. But besides that, the proportion of the head and body is more on the realistic side of things, like the head isn't super big. When it comes to the arms, they are simple shapes, most of them having the slight curve, very simple and clean shapes. The legs are also very simple, having curved and straight lines depending on the side of the leg, and they usually have a little bit of details on the knees if they are exposed, but just something very simple. Their torso is also made of very clean lines, and depending on the body shape, there will be different shapes, of course. But they just basically grab a body type and turn it into simple lines that connect in odd angles, for the most part at least. The eyes were some of my favorite things of this style. I didn't know I would like this part that much, but it just looks so great. I did simplify them a little bit, because sometimes you can see color in the iris of the characters, but when it comes to shapes they vary a little depending if the character's eyes are rounder or sharper, but it's always a thicker line on the top eyelid, usually with a wing eyeliner that I love, and then a thin line underneath, and these lines don't connect to each other. The iris of the eye is an oval and a lot of times it has a little highlight breaking the shape. The noses are also very simple, they can be smaller or bigger, sometimes the characters only have the tip of the nose drawn, and other times the nose bridge goes up until their eye level or even eyebrows. They also have the nostrils drawn, just a little line. The mouth is usually just a line, but sometimes there will be an extra line for the lips, but they are very simplified, and if the mouth is open it's also done in a very simple and cartoony way, it's very expressive. The hands are relatively simple, but they do sometimes have extra lines for details like on the palm of the hand, on the knuckles or on the nails. The hair is made of simple clean lines and shapes, and there is a few thinner lines inside the hair for extra details, I really like that. I noticed that the clothes mostly follow the body shape and then have pieces peeking out and breaking the silhouette. The outfits are relatively detailed and look great. The shading on the animation is a little different from the concept art that we just saw, but in most scenes there's a little bit of blush on the face and the neck is darker. In some close-up shots there's a little shading on the nose as well, but for the most part there isn't. After I did this research, I decided to sketch myself in this style, and while I was doing that I kept in mind the information I gathered. I kept the hair made of simple shapes, the outfit to be body-fitting with details breaking out of the silhouette, keeping the lines clean even though it was just a sketch, and just tried my best. After this warm-up sketch, I decided to draw 3 characters from different shows, and the first one was Wendy from Gravity Falls. I tried to make the lines thin because on the Owl House video I made, I think it looked a little weird because of the lines being too thick. But I think overall she turned out really good. I tried to make her look tall and a little more on the thinner side. I referenced Perfuma and Ketra for this drawing because I think Wendy would have similarities to both of them. I changed some of the colors a little bit because when I picked the colors from the actual drawing, it wasn't looking its best. I didn't make drastic changes, but I feel like it's important to point out that sometimes color palettes change depending on the style you're drawing. I don't think I did a great job on the hands, they aren't the best they could be, and I wasn't sure on what pose to give Wendy, so she ended up looking a little stiff. But I'm overall happy. Not every drawing has to be perfect, most times they aren't honestly, but the more you make the better you get. Keep that in mind if you also like to draw or would like to start drawing. But anyway, I'm rambling. Wendy is a great character and I think she would fit in this universe, honestly. I think she would fit right in with the princesses and be a good ally. If she was a princess in this universe, I don't know what power she would have, but I kinda like the idea of her having the power to talk to animals. but she would definitely be friends with Marmista, and I can see that for sure, like they would just be making pranks on everyone. I'm really happy with how her hair turned out and the head too. I thought it would look weird, but it ended up looking just fine. It was also very interesting to start with an art style that's more simplified and cartoony. Usually when I'm drawing, I have to simplify the reference image, remove details, make it look more simple, but this time it was the opposite. I almost felt like I kept her too simple. I would have added more details in her boots and pants, for example. But well, that's it, and I think in the end Wendy looks good and ready to fight in the Princess Alliance. It's a crossover no one asks for, but I think it would be fun. Here we have Wendy. As you may know, I really like the show Arcane. It's beautiful visually and also story-wise. I drew Vi on the Owl Houses style video, and this time I decided to draw Jinx. It was a lot of pressure, honestly, because the designs of these characters are beautiful and they have a special place in my heart, so I really didn't want to mess things up. I started to sketch Jinx in a pose that wasn't too stiff, and I simplified a lot of her outfit. She's very detailed in her original design, but to fit in this style, I had to remove a lot of that. The harder part were her boots, because they are so fun and complicated, which is great, it looks really good, but it's really hard to translate the shapes into a different style. At least it was for me. In the end, I like how they turned out, and it was worth the trouble. I think I captured the key points, but let me know what you think in the comments. I made her face and eyes a little bit more on the round side because she has a very big eyes and a cute round face. I made her iconic braids in these simple round shapes, which I really like, and I was going to make her hands in a different shape, but I wanted to keep this drawing family friendly, so I ended up making this gesture instead. I think in this universe, Jinx would probably be good friends with Entrapta. They could create things together because they are both really smart with mixing technology and magic. Being it horde weapons and first one stack or messing around with X stack. She would probably work for the horde and create some trouble for Shadow Weaver in the process, which would make Catra like her, I think. I also want to add that the Arcane art style is just amazing. I can't describe it in words. I would like to study it someday, but it's so different from my art style and it's kinda intimidating, so I would need to start slower. But if you want to see that, you can tell me. I would really like to do it one day, even if it's just how they draw portraits, for example. I think I should rewatch the show again. I haven't watched it in a while, but as you can see, Jinx is practically done. We just need to add the final details and she'll be ready to blow up Bright Moon. It would be a chaos if she was in the show, and I would watch it and most likely love it. But let's move to the last character now. And this character is from Good Omens, because yes, I am obsessed and there will be more videos about this show in the future, so be prepared. I chose a character from season 2, her name is Muriel, and I really like her. I chose to draw her in the human police officer outfit, and I think I captured her essence in this drawing. She looks so happy and ready to learn and be kind and enjoy everything in life. I love her so much, like she's just a cute angel, and I hope nothing bad happens to her because she just deserves all the happiness. I think she would be good friends with Perfuma and would try to make friends with everyone, even the horde. I imagine Kyle would be her friend in the horde, but regarding the drawing, I'm really happy with the pose and facial expressions. She just looks like she will say hello, 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 and I love that so much. Like, she's great, she's a great character. Her outfit is beautiful, but it was a little bit hard when it came to coloring because it's all white. Like, there's no color variation in the original design, and I didn't want to make any radical changes, but I added some color variation with light beige tones in her jacket and tie. I think she still looks very angelic with those changes. In the show, I think she wouldn't have powers, but would still be a very important and useful character, just like in Trapta, for example. She doesn't have a runestone, she doesn't have magic, and I think it would be the same for Muriel. And she would be there to support and say nice things to everyone. She's a ray of sunshine and would be always ready to help and motivate people. I just really like her. If you haven't noticed, I really like her. Next week's video will also be about the Good Omens, so be prepared. But to wrap things up in this video, it was a lot of fun to draw all these characters and it was a great learning experience. Tell me which one was your favorite in the comments and what art style you'd like to see me try next. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like if you like this video, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. I'm trying to upload every Wednesday, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!